They're terrified of people who, like you at home who watch this network, who are willing to say, hey, this sounds a little fishy. Let me do some of my own homework here. They don't want you to do that. People like you who see the lengths the left is willing to go to subvert our democracy, including 2 impeachments against the president on completely bogus charges. It's people like you at home watching who are the best defense in preserving what this country is supposed to be. Well, Donald Trump Jr. joins us now, host of the fantastic new podcast, Triggered on Rumble. Don, appreciate you being here.
Good to be with you, Carl.
I want to play a soundbite real quick from Democrat witness Congressman Jamie Raskin. Listen to this.
The odd name of the Weaponization Subcommittee constitutes a case of pure psychological projection. When former President Donald Trump and his followers accuse you of doing something, they're usually telling you exactly what their own plans are. By establishing a select subcommittee on weaponization, they're telling us that Donald Trump's followers, who obviously control the subcommittee, will continue weaponizing any part of the government they can get their hands on to attack their enemies.
Oh, you were literally dragged onto the Hill to testify on a case that we now know, and they all probably knew at the time, completely bogus. So could you imagine if, I don't know, Hunter's last name had been Trump, if you had been even committed a fraction of what we know Hunter has done just based on pictures of him?
Yeah, I think it'd be a problem, Carl. I think if I took $1 billion investment as a crackhead from China, I think these institutions would have a problem with it. If I was taking money from Ukraine and Russia while simultaneously now having a father as a president who's literally making decisions with those nations, of course, there's no influence peddling. Of course, they don't have other things. It feels like every enemy we possibly have, both foreign and domestic, has a Hunter Biden laptop. And I imagine they would weaponize that. And yet no one even bothers to ask the question. Jamie Raskin, the clown himself, was one of the original election deniers back in 2016. But again, the projection that he's talking about is it's the Clinton playbook. Right. It's the Democrat playbook for decades. It's Saul Alinsky, rules for radicals. Accuse them of doing all the things that you're doing. And yet, if we actually look at what's been discovered, they were doing all the things they accuse us of. I mean, they're outraged that we would throw a clown like Eric Swalwell off an intelligence committee when he was sleeping with a Chinese spy. Now, he says, well, I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, but we don't know that. We don't know what they have on you. That would disqualify you from sitting on any board of any tech company that was dealing with classified information. And yet he can sit on the House Intelligence Committee. And when they throw him off for the obvious reasons,
anything named intelligence in D.C.
And it never ends. It's absolute insanity with these people. They're just upset that they're caught. The problem is the machine is so big. The media, big tech, the lengths that they will go to protect these traitors, in my mind, without question, right, is unfathomable. You see what they're doing to Newsmax and what they're trying to do. We're up against such a large machine. They will silence you. They will make sure that no one hears the truth. Even if the truth is discovered, it'll magically disappear into the ether, never to be heard from again. So, it's part of why I started a podcast, but why I also come on here and vehemently defend these things so that people have the ability to get this actual information for themselves. Right. Because if you were to leave it to the powers that be, it could be the worst crimes in American history, and you'd never even know it.
That's true. I mean, and speaking of that, look, we are extremely thankful to our viewership here. I mean, the conservative grassroots movement that has been extremely powerful. We've proven that at Newsmax just by the sheer volume of people calling DirecTV, calling AT&T. Congress has completely gone in favor of us on the Republican side to get back on after they removed us from their platform. Now, people are super angry. Can you imagine a world?
Carl, they don't care.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Look at Disney. Their stock price is down 50%, and they keep putting this, racist, anti-white, woke BS and trying to jam it down our throats, but more importantly, jam it down our children's throats so they can indoctrinate them like the rest of the public school system and the rest of academia and everything else that's out there in pop culture. They're trying to just crush it from the beginning. Mm-hmm. They don't care. That doesn't seem like a great job as a fiduciary to shareholders. They don't care about that. ESG, it's wonderful. We gotta believe in this, even if it's not creating actual value. It doesn't matter anymore. And that's what's really scary. They're just going to do it. Their shareholders be damned, stakeholders be damned. They come up with an excuse. And if you protest against it, you're a racist or misogynistic or homophobic or whatever it is. You don't have to be any of those things. We don't have to even be talking about those issues. But they throw it out there in hopes of creating and instilling fear to prevent people from actually speaking up, sticking up for themselves, for their children, for our country, for our freedoms, and for our future. And that's really scary.
Yeah. I got a couple seconds left on. If your old man was still in office, what do you think he would do about DirecTV and all this stuff?
Listen, I don't know enough how the rules work, but he'd be very vocal about it. He'd be calling it out. When you have a politically biased organization doing that, but you have to call it out. I don't know that he could control that, but we have to have the guts to speak up, right? We're not really in a fair fight because, again, the way the messaging is able to be smothered. You look it up in Google, it never shows up. On social media, you'll get fact-checked and deplatformed, and you have no voice. So that's why we have to do it. I mean, people don't give your money to DirecTV or AT&T, the parent company. Go to a Patriot Mobile, support them. We have to go out there and take the time to find businesses that share your values. Give your hard-earned dollars to them. You can go to a place like Public Square, publicsq.com, and find a business that signs up and says, I believe in the stuff that we all believe. Anyone watching this believes. You don't have to give your money to the enemy and allow them to weaponize it against you. And they've proven time and time again that we will do that. I think the American people get it. I think they understand just how bad it actually is now, that hopefully we finally say enough is enough and stop doing it. I think that's evidenced by what happened to Disney stock. They're sick of it. What happened to Netflix stock?
It's crazy.
We don't need to see this crap anymore, but we do need to push back, and we need to make the time to actually look into it and support people who share your values.
100% agree. Don Jr., appreciate you joining us, sir, as always.
Thanks, Carl.